More Behringer related news today, as the K2 Mark II is available to purchase. While surfing around the web over the last few days, I've noticed a few sites which had the Behringer K2 Mark II for sale. The first was Music Store, which showed me that the K2 Mark II was available, and at £172 I was so close to pulling the trigger, but when I got to the payment page there was a note to say that shipping wasn't until November 24. Looking at it today, I've noticed that the estimated delivery time is the 1st of December, so I held off. This is good news though, that these things are starting to show up outside the US and not just on the Alto Music Store. But this isn't what I wanted. Then yesterday, whilst I was browsing Thomann, I spotted that they had the K2 Mark II available and are ready to ship. So I could have one of these, and you could have one of these in about a week's time if you're in Europe. There is one downside to this though, that's the Thomann pricing is currently set at £251. So this retailer is much higher than the £170 I was expecting the synths to sell at, so I'm going to continue to hold off. However, if you are desperate for a K2 Mark II, then the £70-ish premium may be tolerable to you, and I'm not here to judge you. If that's what you want to do and you want to get your hands on one of these little beauties, then by all means go ahead. For me though, I'm going to hold off for another couple of weeks to see what happens, especially as I already have a Syncussion SY1 on back order and have recently received the MS1 Mark II, so I've got plenty to be getting on with and getting my head around over the next few weeks, and I can hold off for a couple of weeks or perhaps a few months. What particularly interests me about the K2 Mark II, apart from being a rather splendid clone of the MS20, the Korg MS20 that is that unlike the Korg MS20, the K2 Mark II responds to 1 volt per octave. And if you don't know, this is a standard for Eurorack voltage control. Now I understand the Mark I followed the MS20 convention, and whilst it's possible to use a module to convert Eurorack signals to those understood by the MS20, it's not ideal and adds a further premium. For those like me who are into modular and semi-modular synths, having the ability to modulate parameters from modules or synths they already own is a real benefit, and helps those who are into getting wilder sound design options, or those who just want to be able to move towards or experiment with doorless setups. So I'll continue to watch with bated breath and hope either Thomann drop their price or another retailer gets stock and has nice short lead times. For our cousins over in the US, yesterday I also found out that Thomann will ship over to the States. This was a comment left by Rosic Nuke. Apologies if I've mispronounced that. But yes, this user left a comment on one of my videos yesterday about the Proton being available, and they have ordered a Proton and paid around $30 shipping fee to get it over to the States. So fair play to them, they're getting what they want and don't mind paying a little bit extra. We love it when we get comments on our videos which help others, especially when there's a little bit of a creative solution. So I didn't know that Thomann shipped over to the US, so super helpful. Thanks ever so much for letting us know. Now if you're interested in Behringer gear and want to watch another video, then have a look at this one over here.